I mean, it's almost to a point where kind of like now they want to hide a lot of things in history.
Right.
That like no. I don't believe in that. No. We ain't had nothing. Tell the whole truth. Why are you hiding it? Number one. Right. No, tell the whole truth. Tell everything you did. Show how brutal it was. There, it was ugly. Okay, show it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about let's water that down and and I think that's what he's saying, or that is that unseasoned. You ain't putting no season. You're giving them a bland.
So how would you communicate? Because there are people that communicate with white people in a way of you should know this about our history, what you did to our forefathers. We were slaves, 40 acres and a mule. Talk they have sat through that. How effective has that been in change? Now, I do understand that when Martin Luther King marched, that there were white people that really helped out in that, and I feel like that part is not highlighted enough to show the union and the unity between black and white. Because if we start to not just make the Martin Luther King holiday and movement and everything a black thing, and say it's a unity thing because there was a lot of white people had to help to make that happen. Same thing with George Floyd. Man, it was amazing to see different countries that were not African American, different people around the world marching for one cause, and people were unified. It was white people throwing stuff and getting arrested and all that type of stuff to say that this is a unity thing. This is not necessarily a black and white thing. This is a humanity thing. And so people are allowed to express themselves like they do, So you hear, what you gonna hear? What type of communication you gonna hear in the streets of Atlanta? When something go down, man. You know what I'm saying? What up? Shout out, we finna. And how they talk and all that. When people start to communicate in anger, they start to act more like themselves. See, we can start this thing off people, what you need to know, and we can be very, very educated and state the facts. But when you get offended, you look here, you're going to go back to...
It's kind of like our show. We start off nice and then...
We do.
And then...
Look, but I'll never just say, you old big head. No, I don't never talk about him. It'd be the point. I ain't never Joan him. Never. I ain't never said nothing about you. Never. You can go back to show. I know we're off subject now, but you can go back to shows. I ain't never talked about you. Like, you ain't no good father. You know what I'm saying?
Not like that. I know you talking about Joni. I remember a couple of times I had to defend
yourself.
Joni? No.
Yeah.
I ain't never just talking about your hairline or nothing like that. I ain't never talking about your shoulders being off. Yeah. That one arm look bigger than the other. I ain't never said no junk like that. Oh my God. Well, let me get to the point.
He ain't never.
I'm just saying. I'm just playing. But I think when it comes to communication, when people start getting in their feelings, that the cultural things, if we start having a slang, argument in our feelings about, and then people start using slang and stuff like that, that's more cultural. White people are not going to understand what we're talking about. We're not going to understand what they're talking about. You talk about the slang that kids use nowadays, talking about blicky, bump it and run and get the blicky. You don't know what he's talking about, and when he in his feelings, he's not trying to explain to you that a blicky is a gun. So when it comes to heated arguments between cultures, that's where lines of communication are lost. Because when we start arguing, so this man is saying, because I'm not traumatized, I feel like I can still communicate. And I understand what both of them saying.
Because he has an advantage.
And the other guy is saying, you're giving him the watered down version. You're not really expressing how we feel. But does that mean... okay, when you do express it in a way that is got a little bit more punch to it, will people receive it? So is it how it's being delivered, or if the person is going to receive it or not? Because there's
the question is, what are you receiving? Are you receiving the whole story?
Right. I don't think it's effective.
This week
Sugar-coated.
teach of salt that you throwing in here.
So what is he saying that's watered down? The communication period, or
The actual
what's
plight.
being communicated?
Yes, what's being communicated. The plight of the black man, whatever it may be.
Because he's saying, I've been in situations where I hear white people say, "Oh, racism doesn't exist." He said, "I've heard that, and I've been around black people, and they said, well,
all white people are racist."
Yeah,
right.
So he's trying to say, well, because of my disconnect, and
now he's disconnected on both ends.
He's
disconnected from
we weren't here when all the civil rights movement stuff was going down.
Yeah, he wasn't alive.
Yeah, I'm saying, but he came over when they came over. America wasn't there, so he really didn't. He said, "I'm outside of that experience, so therefore, let me try to give an open ear."
And it's not the civil rights movement. That's happening today. Like you can experience that today.
Like you still connected, bro. If you get pulled over,
that's what he said.
You's a nigga.
He felt like he said, "I have the privilege." That was his words. I have the privilege of my parents growing up, coming up out of Nigeria. Right?
That don't make any sense.
Yeah. So he's saying that.
But he's born in America.
Yeah, he lives in Texas.
Yeah, so
or
like,
lived in Texas.
what is he's still being born.
That has nothing to do with it. That's what he's saying. Like
he's saying that the past trauma. If he's saying past trauma, he's talking about people that's been in this country for generations. And the trauma being passed down, or the trauma, or the residue.
I don't have the trauma and the residue of civil rights.
Yeah, I don't have it either.
Yeah, but black people in general do.
I can't even say that.
But how we feel about the white guy getting off and the beating in Memphis.
That ain't got
nothing to do with civil rights.
But we get up and I feel like, oh, look at this.
I mean, we fair because we also said them brothers need to go to jail. You see what I'm saying? So we're fair. Like that's not, if
it was one black person that didn't get off and 5 black people get on, you wouldn't have that same intensity.
If one black person,
if it was one black person, if that white guy was black and he got off, and the other 5 didn't, you would have the same intensity. You'd be like, okay, why that guy? But the fact that it was a white guy, it was like, oh no.
Because we've seen it so much.
You know
that's
what I'm
why.
saying. So that's what I'm saying.
So you feel you feel like white people. I feel like there are white people
same thing with George
that
Floyd.
said there are white people that said, why isn't this guy arrested? I really do feel like like we're asking the same question. I feel like they're asking the same question. Like why isn't this guy?
I think they're more like, oh man, it's not gonna go over good. That's what I think they like.
Well, most of them, yes.
Yeah, I don't think they like. I don't think they're like. Well, why didn't he get? I think like, oh man,
let's get ready to go move to Wyoming.
Yeah, like it's about to go down. Like I think they're thinking like, man, this not gonna go good. Nah, okay. Well, why didn't he, get arrested?
I think especially the ones that are out there marching with them.
Super naive.
Yeah.
Nah,
I think they're more.
They feel it's unfair.
They
genuinely feel it's unfair.
There are friends of mine that I know that are white that have a passion for like things that black people have a passion for. They do, and they're not. They don't act black. They act white. They act. They're of their culture, but they still have the concerns of
some
black
white people that really don't see color like that.
So I feel like those are people, because there's a lot of white people that can work with us than against us. And I think in this situation, when you're trying to communicate to a friend, see, it's a difference between trying to place blame, and some people should take the blame. And I'm not even saying that it's not their fault, but if somebody wronged me, if I wronged you, right? And you're trying to explain to me, but you're offending me while you're trying to explain to me what I did to you. I stepped on your foot. Let's say I stepped on your shoes, and I didn't know. You come to me, and the first thing you say is, Ian, you stepped on my shoes. Before I can offer an apology, I got to work with my offense first. So now I'm operating out of offense because of how I was approached, as opposed to me stepping on your shoe and you coming to me, bro, I know you ain't mean to do it, but you stepped on my shoe. Oh, bro, I'm so sorry, man. Bro, let me wipe your shoe off. The response is different based off. So if you're talking about,
but the content of what you said didn't change.
Right, it didn't change. Yeah. However, how it's received. You still said you stepped on my shoe. But how I receive it and my response is totally different based off of how you told me.
I don't think that's what he's talking about. He's talking about content.
Because one guy's talking about,
he's talking about content.
Yeah, he's talking about the content. He's not talking about how you come across.
You're not telling what's actually happening.
You said the content of what you said because he's talking about situation. He said, "Hey man, I didn't mean to have food," or "Hey, N word." You want the content was you stepped on my shoe.
Right.
So I don't think he's talking about the way.